So there's a lot of parties have a lot of men on the lineup. It doesn't have to be that way. There are plenty of female and non-binary queer acts. And so I wanted to do a party that includes those type of people, that gives them visibility. And I also just wanted to throw a party where DJs are technically skilled at what they do. So there's a lot of parties where people book people to play songs who are not necessarily DJs.
I think they fuck with this, Ducky. It sounds like they fuck with it a little bit.
And instead of like complaining about that and talking shit out in public, I'm just like, look, I'm gonna book a party where people can DJ.
Hey!
I think it's important because, well, I mean, for the obvious reason that we aren't seeing those groups represented as much. And I think a lot of times we have to, let's put a woman on the list. We gotta do one to make it a little diverse, you know? And this is kind of flipping that model on its head and saying, no, we're gonna dominate the room, you know, and we have a lot to offer.
You know, as we all may know, traditionally things are marketed to and from what you would perceive the average person, which as we've learned apparently is, you know, you're a straight white male. And then even in places that, you know, you find black people and other people of color, it's still kind of still male-based. So to have that energy of, nah, this is, you know, something of more the feminine spectrum, putting this together and facilitating everything, you definitely tell the difference. I mean, it's, you know, it's girls. It's the reason, it's turning the reason into why women free before 10 has been a thing for as long as we've known partying, and actually making that an element instead of something to kind of just capitalize off of or market off of, you know, for whatever reason they say they do it. It's taking that and being like, nah, you wanted this free before midnight. This is just what it is, period. So you get to see kind of the other side of what we would do if we had the chance, and we do now. We're everywhere.
A lot of men tend to like think that women aren't as talented. So I think some people usually go into events with all females and they're like, they kind of take it as a joke, like they laugh it off like it's not gonna be that good, it's not gonna be as poppin' as a party with like all dudes. So it was really cool to see so many guys in here and really rock with all the girls, like all the women. They're super talented, so I was happy to see that.
If you look at the Crown itself, kind of, you know, it's more or less been here 3 years now. And if you started coming here 3 years ago when it opened, you can definitely see the evolution of the space in that it's moved to be such kind of like a beacon in this area and in this region of somewhere that is kind of like the example of the safe place and an example of the place where varying artists can go. And if it wasn't sustainable, it wouldn't still be here. That's kind of how I see it.
I mean, the Crown is like a weird place because when it started, like nobody really knew what it was or what it was gonna be, you know? And I don't think that there was a lot of intention in how shows were booked necessarily. Like, there's this feeling of like, we want this space to be weird, we want the space to be DIY, we want the space to be for everyone. And I think over time, like that last part especially became about like, well, how do we make it actually a space for everyone, you know? How do we include people like Jess who want to have an all-female DJ bill, or Abdu Ali wants to do like a really diverse programming with Kalan or whatever, you know? And so starting out, it was just like, you know, who knows the people who run the Crown and how do they get hooked up with billing? But like as time has progressed, I think we've been more conscious about trying to book events and shows that are inclusive and safer and just like what actually people need and want, you know, rather than just like whatever to fill the room.
Hey. Riding with the top off. Man, my whip so big.
When there's an all-female lineup, it's just, or an, you know, all non-binary lineup, they step in the room and there's a different expectation, and I think they know that. It may be because people know what type of standards I have or what type of expectations that I have, but when they come in, they feel an energy that says, I'm gonna chill out and I'm gonna respect everyone that I come into contact with. Otherwise, I can go across the hall to the free party or somewhere else.
I definitely feel like the vibe, the energy is just different. It's just something in the air that's a little bit different when it's like ran by a woman, all women on the bill. You just feel like an opportunity that you don't feel other places.
Dance music has always been a place for self-expression and a safe space, and we need to continue that even more so.
We lose places left and right every day around here, it seems like. So for something more or less new to have cropped up and it's still here with no additional help outside of, you know, the community that lives around it, it absolutely is sustainable. And it's one of those things where the platform will kind of reverberate and it will be echoed, and there will be like 2 and 3 more of the crowns that open up, you know. But simply the fact that this type of place exists that allows artists of, you know, every type, anybody, like, there's no way that couldn't be sustainable, because that's always going to be here.
So I guess it's up to me at this point to just be consistent. Maybe the next one will be in 3 months, 2 months, not 6. And, you know, people thank me for bringing pre-Columbian down from Philly. Like, people thank me for throwing a party like this, and they paid their $5 and they didn't mind doing that. So I like to think that, you know, it's a thing that people want to see. For me, it gives me something to be accountable for. It gets me up in the morning, and not only that, but it just feels good to make people feel good with music, and to make people dance.
Where the fuck you at? Right about now, I'm about to wild this bitch out. If you drunk right now, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Where the weedy weed at?
Next time on Garnish.
Shit, I got a needle, take a peek up, so what's in it, give a party for the Crooks. You better wash your hands, you don't use, you better say your blessings, right? Cause the bloodshed in these streets reflect the tales of men.